Hello peoples, Blue Lion Man here. This is my random numbering of this year's Super Bowl squares grid. Now, I'm starting it really late this year because I've had a last minute change of heart and decided to run one due to a few people asking if I'm doing it because they wanted to have a go. I wasn't going to do it because the last squares grids I've run, I did 3 on the Thanksgiving Day games this season, and I did 2 on the wild card Saturday games last season, and all of them I never sold any of those grids out. And I can't remember last year, I think I took about a £50-60 loss on the wild card games, and this year I only did £1 grids on each of the 3 games for the Thanksgiving Day games, and I lost £40 to £50, so not good. So with my last minute change of heart to do a Super Bowl squares grid this year, I'm only doing 1 grid. It's £5 a square grid, but I've taken a bigger house edge. I'm taking 20% this year, so basically that covers the last 20 squares if I can't sell them. I possibly think starting this late I won't sell anywhere near that money. So it means I'm exposing myself because I guarantee the prize money. I'm making each of the prizes £100 this year. So the first quarter is £100, second quarter is £100, third quarter will be £100, and the final result of the game will be £100. So I guarantee to pay that out come what may. So I could be exposing myself if I don't sell many squares at all. When all the ones I do sell win, I could be exposing myself to a £300 plus loss. Not cool. So now that said, I've done a grid online so everybody can log in and see their numbers online as they sell them. I've randomly numbered the grid online from, where's the raffle ticket books? Here we go. No, that's the wrong book. Come on. No, don't do this to me. Oh, there it is. It's like the Blue Peter tradition, isn't it? Right, so there's the book. I've numbered this year's grid from 201 up to 300. So these numbers are all going to be ripped off and put in a bag, and that's how no one can pick their squares. But as soon as you pay me for a square, I will get a proxy to draw a raffle ticket out of that bag, which will correspond to this grid I've done on Google Sheets. A link will be put up on TFP, so you can link to that sheet at any time, and I will update it as the week goes on, right the way up until Super Bowl kickoff, so everyone can see their numbers. Now, to make it random, what numbers you end up with, I have to randomly number the columns across the top. Sorry, the columns across the top, which will be New England. That's the AFC team. And the way I do that is I've taken a pack of playing cards from the ace to the 10. What I do is I shuffle them up, put them all down here, as you can see, get them under the cam, mix them all up, put them all together. Dun dun dun. Oh, it's a nightmare. This is to make it random, what numbers for what column. So basically, right, I'm going to show one to the camera, and then I'm going to number it live right here on screen. So the first column's going to be for the AFC. The first column's going to be, what's that? A 10. So that's row 0. So I'll put that in now. Row 0. The next column's going to be row 2. Next column, row 3, consecutives. Next column, row 8. Next column, row 7. Next column, row 9. Next column, row 1. Next column, row 4. Sorry, column 4. Next column, row 6. Making the last one, row 5. So now we've done the New England. That was the AFC. Now we shuffle them up again. Oh, it's quite hard to mix them up, so I'm going to put them down here. Give them a good old. There we go. Mix them up. Now we are going to number the rows for Atlanta. So the first row is going to be, what's that? 5. Next row is going to be 0. Next row, 2. Next row, 9. Next row, 4. Next row, 7. Next row, 1. Next row, 3. Next row, 8. And the last row, 6. So that's all done. Now the only thing to explain for those of you that don't know is how you win. It's pretty easy. It's complete random luck. Say if you buy 1 square off me, that's a £5. I draw you out one raffle ticket from this bag. It will correspond to a numbered square between 201 and 300. That's 100 squares. I'm just using later numbers so I can use a raffle ticket book I bought last year. Anyway, that then corresponds to those numbers you saw me draw. And every permutation in the Super Bowl's covered. So when the game starts, it's on 0-0, 0-0. And then every time there's a score in the game, it changes what box it's on. So say if New England score a field goal, then it's going to be on New England 3, Atlanta 0. And it's whatever box it's on at the end of each of the first 3 quarters and the final result of the game. The reason you say final result of the game is that's to cover the eventuality of overtime, in case there's overtime. So therefore you don't pay out on the 4th quarter, you pay out on the final result of the game, which is usually the end of the 4th quarter. But just in case it goes into overtime, it's the final result of the game. Now how you win, and you can keep hitting your squares, is you just take the last digit of a team's score. So if Atlanta had scored 13 points, that would be Atlanta row 3. If New England scored 10 points, that would be row 0. And that's how you can keep winning with one box more than one prize, because it has to be on your box at the end of those pre-designated points, at the end of basically each of the first 3 quarters, at the end of the game. So if, for instance, the end of the first quarter, New England say have got 10 points, that would be New England row 0. If Atlanta's got 7 points, that would be Atlanta row 7. Where those two meet, that would be the winning box. Again, say at half time, coming up to the second half, end of the second quarter, it's Atlanta 22 and New England 10. That would be New England row 0 again, Atlanta row 2, because of 22, take the last digit. That's simple as that, ready? And that's how you win. And if you have the winning box at those 2 points, each prize this year is £100. So I hope you'd like to have a go. You can find more information on TFP and you can find a link to the grid from TFP, and hope you're going to fancy having a go, because I've now got to try and sell as many of these as I can between now and the Super Bowl. So I've got just under a week, because today is now Monday morning. Thank you for listening. Laters.